Survive 30 days chained to your ex, win $250,000. Chapter 2. The morning sun filtered through the thin blinds, casting a soft golden hue across the room where Susie and Josh awoke, still shackled together by the heavy, unyielding chain. Their eyes met briefly, a mixture of awkwardness, residual tension, and an unspoken question. How would they survive another day in this bizarre experiment? The previous day had been a whirlwind. Emotions ran high, frustrations flared, and the reality of being forced into proximity with a former lover quickly became tangible in every movement, every glance, every breath. Yet despite the initial discomfort, both knew that today marked the beginning of the real test, finding a rhythm together while navigating the claustrophobia of shared space and the pressure of $250,000 dangling at the finish line. Susie stretched her arms, careful not to pull on the chain, and tried to maintain a semblance of calm. "Morning," she muttered, her tone neutral, though her eyes betrayed a hint of nervousness. Josh responded with a weak smile, rubbing his neck as he attempted to shake off the lingering stiffness from sleeping so close yet so constrained. The chain limited every movement, and even simple tasks like reaching for a glass of water or adjusting a pillow required coordination, negotiation, and patience. Neither had exercised in years. Their first challenge of the morning was the kitchen. Breakfast had been prepared the night before, neatly arranged on the counter, but getting to the food without tangling themselves or tipping over a chair required careful planning. Josh suggested, "Let's just move together slowly. Left foot, right foot. Easy." Susie rolled her eyes but nodded. Even in this simple act, the two exes realized the absurdity of their predicament. A week ago, they hadn't even been on speaking terms, yet now they had to choreograph every minor movement as if performing a synchronized dance. Breakfast became a strange exercise in communication. "Can you pass the plate?" Josh asked, his tone strained but polite. Susie leaned slightly forward, reaching carefully without jerking the chain, and the plate slid across the counter. They exchanged a small smile, one of the first moments of light-hearted cooperation since entering the challenge. It was these tiny victories that began to chip away at the walls of tension between them. The chain, initially a symbol of confinement and frustration, started to feel like a tether forcing honest interaction, a reminder that there was no escaping the other person, no hiding, no avoidance. After breakfast, the reality of their shared living arrangement became unavoidable. The room, sparse but functional, contained 2 beds, a small living area, and a few personal items from each participant. The question mark door in the corner remained a source of speculation and distraction, its purpose unknown, yet it loomed like a promise of intrigue for future days. Susie tried to find comfort in routine, walking to the corner of the room where the small exercise equipment sat. "I guess I'll just do a quick workout," she murmured, more to herself than to Josh. Josh, who had been pacing slightly, glanced at her. "I'll join you. Maybe we can make this a team effort." And so they began the first tentative exercises together, their movements carefully calibrated to avoid pulling on the chain. Squats, stretches, and slow laps around the room became a shared activity, a fragile bridge between past grievances and present necessity. Laughter occasionally escaped, a snort from Josh. As he almost lost his balance, a quiet chuckle from Susie when she narrowly avoided bumping into a chair. It was a small reminder that despite the awkwardness, the challenge had the potential to cultivate cooperation, even camaraderie, in a situation designed to provoke conflict. Mid-morning brought the first argument, subtle yet intense. Josh had reached for the resistance bands, inadvertently brushing Susie's arm, and she recoiled. "Careful," she snapped, though her tone lacked the venom of old arguments. Josh raised his hands in mock surrender. "Hey, we're stuck together. We're learning patience." The room felt charged, the air thick with both residual tension and the undercurrent of unspoken feelings. They had been exes for 3 years, yet the familiarity lingered. Old patterns of behavior resurfaced, old jokes lost their timing, old frustrations reignited. It was exhausting and strangely exhilarating all at once. The afternoon brought an unexpected reprieve. a small task designed by the organizers to foster collaboration. A puzzle lay on the floor, scattered pieces requiring coordination to assemble. "Looks like we're stuck with this for the next hour," Susie muttered, half resigned, half amused. Josh crouched beside her, careful with the chain, and they began sorting pieces together. Conversation emerged organically. Memories from their past relationships surfaced, some light and funny, others tinged with regret. They discussed vacations, late-night drives, and the small arguments that had led to their breakup. For the first time, they spoke without judgment, without defensiveness, just recollection. As the puzzle slowly took shape, so did a fragile sense of teamwork. Josh held pieces in place as Susie fitted others. Susie offered suggestions while Josh experimented with placement. The chain that had initially felt restrictive now served as a constant reminder of their need to cooperate. Each move required consideration. Each decision required consensus, and slowly, the animosity of past conflicts began to dissolve into a tentative mutual respect. Evening arrived with the shadows lengthening across the room. They had made progress, but the weight of 30 days still loomed. They were aware that the physical proximity was only part of the challenge. Emotional resilience, patience, and self-control were equally tested. Josh sat on the edge of his bed, Susie nearby, both staring at the small TV that flickered with ambient light. "I didn't think it'd be this hard to be in the same room with you," Josh admitted quietly. Susie nodded, understanding the sentiment. "It's hard, but maybe we needed this," she said, her tone softening, "to really see each other again, beyond the breakup." As night fell, they prepared for sleep, arranging the beds so that the chain allowed minimal tension while still maintaining a degree of personal space. The first full day had been exhausting, a mix of frustration, tentative laughter, and moments of genuine connection. Both were aware that this was only the beginning. 29 more days lay ahead, each with its own set of challenges, surprises, and emotional tests. But for now, as they drifted off in the awkward, constrained proximity of the chain, there was a quiet acknowledgement that surviving this bizarre experiment would require far more than endurance. It would require rediscovery, forgiveness, and perhaps a rekindling of something neither expected to find. Chapter 2. Ended not with resolution, but with anticipation. Anticipation of the days to come, of the challenges yet unseen, and of the slow, uncertain path toward understanding and reconciliation. The chain was not merely a physical object. It was a metaphorical thread connecting their past, present, and potential future. A reminder that surviving 30 days together would test the limits of both patience and heart.